Greetings from the South Carolina Aeronautics Commission. My name is Mihir Shah, the lead aviation planner for the agency. In this video, we're going to demonstrate our new Airport Compatible Land Use Evaluation, or CLUE tool. This online tool is designed to help protect people and property near our state's public use airports by evaluating proposed building projects and other land use changes for airport compatibility. We can begin thinking of compatible land use around airports by looking at examples of incompatible land uses. For example, tall structures and trees pose a safety hazard to aircraft taking off, landing, or circling an airport. Residents who are underneath aircraft approach or departure paths may experience serious noise impacts. Land uses that attract wildlife, particularly birds, pose a strike hazard to aircraft. And finally, encroachment of development around an airport can result in incompatible land uses that become safety and quality of life hazards, and also reduce the value of an airport as a public investment and an economic engine. So, as you will see, using the CLUE tool will help foster the safety and quality of life in the vicinity of the state's public airports. The CLUE tool is available and accessible through our agency's website. The direct link to it is www.scaeronautics.com/CLUE. The tool has been organized so that you can easily see and explore important airspace and on-the-ground zones that are critical for maintaining compatible land use around public airports. You will be able to input some basic data and answer a few questions about a proposed development. The tool will then evaluate the development for airport-compatible land use based on certain Federal Aviation Administration and South Carolina Aeronautics standards and criteria. The CLUE tool is divided into two major parts: the trial area, which provides property owners, developers, and others in the general public an opportunity to conduct a preliminary analysis of a proposed development. There is also the local permitting official, or LPO area, which is a secured area for local government planners, building permit managers, or similar staff to notify the Aeronautics Commission of certain proposed construction activity or land use changes near airports in specified airport safety and land use zones. This portion of the tool requires a login and password by the LPO and is specifically designed to fulfill the local airport land use notification requirements in Title 55 of the South Carolina Code of Laws. In this video, we will do a short demonstration of the trial area to show how anyone can do a test case of a proposed project easily and quickly. As mentioned before, the CLUE tool is available directly at www.scaeronautics.com/CLUE. You can also access the tool from our homepage using the button at the bottom of the screen, or click on the Airport Data tab on the top of our homepage and then select the CLUE tool on the left side. So here is the CLUE tool at startup. You will see a welcome message describing the purpose and function of the tool. After hitting enter, you will see a disclaimer regarding the user agreement terms, particularly in terms of the accuracy of the underlying geographic data of the tool. As you can see, the main page of the CLUE tool consists of a main map page, pull-down menus for map layers and underlying base map options, and at the lower left side, you can enter an address, lat-long or state plane coordinates, or an airport name to zoom into a particular area. The upper left side is where you can begin entering basic height and ground elevation information for your proposed project. On the upper right corner is a link to a detailed CLUE tool trial area user guide for your reference. Let's start with an example case. Say a multi-story apartment complex near an airport runway end. We'll use Columbia Metropolitan Airport in this test case. When we look at the airport vicinity, the default layers will be the airport boundary and the airport land use notification zones shown in various colors. The map layer menu also has existing and future airspace zones. Future means airspace zones that take into consideration any planned changes in the runway configuration as per the airport's master plan, such as a proposed runway extension. Clicking on an airport boundary will also open up a pop-up menu where you can download a PDF version of the airport layout plan sheet and also Google Earth KML files for the various land use zones and airspace surfaces. These KML files will allow you to better visualize the zones and surfaces in 3 dimensions. And you can see it here in Google Earth already opened up with the Part 77 zones. Now back to our proposed apartment complex. Let's zoom into an area just northeast of the airport under one of the runway approaches. You will see the land use notification zones labeled as you zoom in. These zones are described in more detail in the user guide. We will assume that the apartment complex's tallest point is 75 feet above ground elevation, so we can enter that over here on the left side. We can also put in the ground elevation of the project if we know it. Let's assume we don't, so we will leave this blank. Now, we have 2 options to enter the location of the project, either a point or a polygon. Points are appropriate for small footprint projects such as a communications antenna. We will use the polygon option instead, since our apartment complex would have a larger footprint. The polygon can be drawn with any number of points, and double-clicking on it will close it. Next, we click on the Analyze Location button to answer a few questions regarding the apartment complex to complete the land use analysis. This process takes a few moments as the tool is calculating the polygon's height compatibility. First, you will see a reminder message that this proposed project may have to be reported to the FAA for an aeronautical study using their online Form 7460 as per Part 77 regulations. Then, you will see an initial height analysis scorecard that summarizes the elevation of the structure and how much it penetrates 2 of the FAA's standard airspace surfaces, Part 77 and Threshold Sighting Surface, or TSS. Because this proposed complex's height is between the Part 77 surface and the more critical TSS, it is initially scored as conditional. Now you'll have an opportunity to answer a few questions to complete the land use compatibility evaluation. The tool will give you a brief description of the zone type where you have drawn the project, stating what types of uses may be compatible there. You also have the option to stop here and return to the trial area main screen, or complete the questionnaire. We will say yes to completing the questions. Let's assume that we need a rezoning of this property, say from commercial to residential. You will see that a message pops up that such a rezoning will trigger a review from your local permitting official as per the state Title 55 law. As an apartment complex, we will say yes that this structure will be occupied. The next question will be answered no, since this is not a single-family residential development. Again, the proposed density of the project will trigger a required review by the local government and by the Aeronautics Commission. The next question pertains to fuel storage. We will say there is none proposed. Finally, we will say there may be wildlife attractants at this proposed site because the apartment complex will include a detention pond. The final message states that we have at least one land use item that triggers a review by the Aeronautics Commission. That means if someone wanted to propose this project through their local government's permitting department, that department would also need to notify the Aeronautics Commission for our review and comment before permitting. We'll hit OK to conclude the test case analysis. This results in a summary sheet that lists all the project information and questions and answers we just entered. At the bottom is a dynamic map that shows the project footprint as we entered it, plus a buffer applied for a safety margin. Back at the top, there is a button to download a Google Earth KML file, which, when opened, shows the proposed structure in 3 dimensions. If you have already downloaded the airspace or land use zones in Google Earth, this can be a powerful visualization tool to illustrate how a proposed development may be impacted by an airport. When we are finished, we can click Return to Trial Area, and we will start as we did before on the main Clue Tool screen. Again, the trial area is meant for anyone who wishes to conduct a brief, simple evaluation of a proposed development for airport land use compatibility. For those of you who are local permitting officials, we have a separate video of that area of the Clue tool. Thank you for learning about this important tool that will help ensure airports maintain safe operations and be good neighbors. Please contact us if you have any questions regarding the tool. Let's start with an example case, say a multi-story apartment complex near an airport runway end. We'll use Columbia Metropolitan Airport in this test case. When we look at the airport vicinity, the default layers will be the airport boundary and the airport land use notification zones shown in various colors. The Maps layer menu also has existing and future airspace zones. Future means airspace zones that take into consideration any planned changes in runway configuration as per the airport's master plan, such as a proposed runway extension.